Hey everybody, it's Ricardo Gorski, the founder of Tax One, where we help individuals and businesses pay as little tax as legally possible. And today I'm super excited for this video actually, because I've been waiting for this video, to make this video for literally years now, because Cyprus finally announced some information, regulation and taxation in regards to cryptocurrencies. And that is very interesting because Cyprus was actually quiet on crypto for many years. I remember doing videos in 2022-23 regarding trading in Cyprus and crypto taxation in Cyprus, and my answer was always that I don't really know because there is no official information from the government. And now for the first time ever this has changed, and actually we have two major headlines in regards to crypto here in Cyprus, and that is number one, Revolut, the popular neobank, just got their CySec MiCA license, which is big for the European crypto market. MiCA is a rather new regulation, specifically in the European Union. It stands for Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, and when they first introduced it, I was actually rather skeptical about it because the EU is already so much behind the US and other jurisdictions in regards to innovation, crypto regulation and business growth in general. I mean, we just have to look at the top 25 companies in the world and we just have a handful of European countries there, whereas America is dominating. And the main difference between the EU and America is that the EU literally wants to regulate and track everything with rules, taxes and laws. Anyway, that's about that. The second major headline is that the Cyprus cabinet just announced their first major tax reform in 22 years. Obviously, there were many minor changes, but this tax reform includes changes such as the first corporate tax raise in many years from 12.5% to 15% and a flat tax of 8% on crypto assets. I will go into more detail in a minute, but first let's discuss that this is as of now a proposal. Votes and discussions are still ongoing. They are sending these proposals to the parliament, and then regardless of what will be decided, the new tax reform will go into effect on January 1st, 2026. More details will come soon from the government, and I will definitely update you on this channel as fast as possible. However, many of those changes have already been pre-approved, so there is a very high chance that those changes will actually go into effect. Now, if this goes into effect, then Cyprus will actually be the first European country with a specific crypto tax that includes all crypto transactions. And now it's getting even more interesting because this tax rate will be even lower than UAE's 9% corporate tax. But most people misunderstand this. A lot of people claim that crypto trading in the UAE is tax-free, and I understand that the personal income tax is 0% in the UAE, but there is no specific clause in the law that states that crypto transactions are tax-free. But this is going to be the case here in Cyprus. So the crypto tax will bring clarity to the Cyprus jurisdiction. Because as I said earlier, crypto activities were actually kind of in a gray zone here in Cyprus. I mean, if we look at this video from 2 years ago on my other channel, on my personal channel, then you will hear me say that the main question is whether your crypto activities, trades, whatever it is in relation to crypto is either capital gains, which are tax-free here in Cyprus, or if it is considered a business activity, which must be taxed with a corporate tax if you're trading under a limited company, just as any other business activity. Or alternatively, tax via personal income tax if you trade as a natural person without a limited company. But this wouldn't make sense here in Cyprus because the income tax is progressive and goes up to 35%. So the only thing that we knew previously prior to the crypto tax is that capital gains taxes are tax-free here in Cyprus. But income as a natural person is taxed via personal income tax, and companies are liable for corporate tax. And this again leads to the main question, what applies to crypto? Here we go. And to make this even simpler, let's look at two examples. Two individuals, one of which sells Bitcoin that was bought 10 years ago. Today, with just one trade, one sell-off, I bought Bitcoin in 2016 and I want to sell it next year in 2026. I didn't do anything else regarding crypto. I was just lucky to buying it early and within all those last years, I focus on my main business, which is a software company and has nothing to do with cryptocurrencies. Then this individual right here, even in Cyprus, would pay 0% because capital gains are not taxed in Cyprus. This was the case previously, and this will most likely be the case now, even after implementing the crypto tax. But most individuals are not this person. Most individuals regularly buy and sell some crypto. Those are most people. This means you have some centralized exchanges accounts where you buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, some altcoins. This means you have a Revolut account or Swissborg and you buy and sell crypto there. Your friends send you crypto. You convert it to a stable coin. You exchange half a Bitcoin here, you transfer it there, you buy something here, you invest into Solana, you have some NFT tokens, you sell them again. You get the point. Most individuals are like that. They do a lot of different things regarding crypto. Consciously or even subconsciously. I mean, a lot of people have a MetaMask and they just swap coins here and there, decentralized, centralized, doesn't matter. What matters is that those activities are taxable in Cyprus under the corporate tax, which is currently 12.5%, and after the new tax reform, it will be most likely 15%. So without the crypto tax, this would be the status quo, how we tax our crypto clients that are actively trading cryptocurrencies. Now again, back to the UAE, and I like to use the UAE as an example because most crypto people are in the UAE and they live in Dubai, for example, and they think that crypto is completely tax-free there. And I agree, it is much more crypto-friendly than most European countries, but from an accounting point of view, such business activities, especially if it is actually considered a business, such as you have employees, such as you're also selling digital info products in regards to crypto, or anything that is not considered a typical capital gain, like buying something, holding it for a long period of time and selling it again for a profit. Anything else other than this simple example is also taxed in the UAE with the corporate tax, which is 9%. However, you can argue that the UAE still has the small business relief, which means that the corporate tax for businesses that generate less than 3 million dirham can be still 0% for up to 2027. So, if you want to be completely bulletproof regarding your crypto business, then you have this tax rate in Cyprus, 12.5% or 15% soon, and in the UAE, 9% or 0% if you're under 3 million dirhams, up to the 1st of January 2027, when the small business relief will end. But now, with the Cyprus crypto tax, we have a flat tax of just 8% on all crypto profits. And 8% is much less than the standard corporate tax in Cyprus, almost half with the new 15% tax, but also less than the 9% corporate tax in the UAE. And now, before we continue, I want to mention that yes, I understand. There is the possibility, of course, to live in the UAE and just don't pay taxes on your crypto. But it is really not 100% bulletproof clear as of today. No advisor, no accountant, no auditor, no lawyer can give you a 100% clear and accurate answer whether or not typical crypto trades are completely tax-free in the UAE. And I'm not saying that to talk down on Dubai and say that Cyprus is so much better, not at all. I'm flying to Dubai next month. I will spend my winter there. I have an Emirates ID. I partially live in the UAE as well. We also offer services in the UAE. I'm saying that as someone that helps individuals and businesses pay as little tax as legally possible, and I want my clients to sleep well at night. And I cannot tell them that, hey, you go to Dubai and everything is 100% tax-free regarding crypto in Dubai. I cannot say that as of today. And everyone that does say that is just lying. They have no more information than me, and they probably just want to sell you a company formation or whatever it is that they want to sell you. But okay, sorry for that little rage bait. Now back to the topic, and that is, depending on your setup and jurisdiction, social charges actually also might apply. This is not Cyprus or Dubai as of today, but this is, for example, Switzerland, which is supposed to be EU's crypto capital. And here we see the big problem that on an individual level, there is no cap when it comes to social security contributions. And what really worries me is this little paragraph here at the end. If the individual is self-employed, they basically have to cover employers' and employees' share. Now let's look at employers and employees share. It is 5.3% and 5.3%. That means the social charges in Switzerland are 10.6%. Obviously it can vary a little bit, but over 10% on your personal income. And we actually had a case where a day trader living in Switzerland, Zook, was declaring his crypto activities to the tax authorities in Switzerland, and they said that he's liable for personal income tax plus social charges. Literally worst case scenario, because if you make 1 million in personal income in Switzerland, for example, then this means you are paying without a cap more than 100,000 euros in social contributions. And because there is no cap, I mean, that is the crazy part here. Even if you make 10 million, there is no limit on how much you pay in social contributions. So with 10 million in personal income, you pay over 1 million in social contributions. Insane. Anyway, this doesn't apply to Cyprus directly, but I wanted to mention it to show all those people that say, no, crypto is tax-free in the UAE. Well, people in Switzerland thought that as well, but it is not. And I'm just warning you, like, I'm not getting anything from here. I'm literally just warning individuals to not be naive and believe other people that say everything is tax-free. No, it is probably not. I mean, the governments know how much money there is in crypto, and they obviously want to get their share from it. So again, it is not in Cyprus or the UAE, but it shows that it's more than just the headline tax rate. So many people just look at where is the lowest tax. So there the tax is 15%, here it's 9%. Let's go there. It doesn't make sense because there are so many other contributions, taxes, hidden costs, expensive living costs and all that also comes into play, and obviously also life quality. I mean, if you really want to be tax-free, you can just go to a Caribbean country, live somewhere completely remote with basically no infrastructure, high crime rates and all that, but you will have 0% tax rate. But obviously a lot of people don't go there because they value many more things than just the corporate tax. So back to the main million-dollar question, will they consider crypto as capital gain or business activity? And unfortunately, the answer is that it is still kind of uncertain, but the worst case scenario with this crypto tax will now be that it is 8% in Cyprus, but to be 100% sure, we recommend an individual consultation as always, where we look at your business and we recommend you what's best for you. Now, something else that is ridiculous in my eyes is people saying just don't declare it. Just make your crypto transactions and they will never find out about it. But to me, this is the most unprofessional advice you can give to someone. This is naive. It is not clean. It opens up big risks. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that there is AI out there, HMRC with their Connect system and investing hundreds of millions, hiring thousands of new compliance officers on the lookout, on the hunt for people that don't declare their assets, income and all that, and you're recommending someone to just not declare it. I mean, that's really ridiculous, especially if we look at double tax treaties, and my best example here is Germans living in the UAE. There is no double tax treaty between Germany and the UAE anymore. It expired in 2022. Germany did not renew the double tax treaty between Germany and the UAE. Why? Because so many famous and wealthy Germans left Germany for Dubai to live a lavish lifestyle there, spend their money there, not contribute anything to Germans' tax authorities anymore, and so they know that there is no legal protection for German citizens living in the UAE right now if they don't have a dual citizenship, that they can then just revoke the German citizenship and not be liable for a potential citizenship-based taxation, a potential worldwide income tax, global income tax, whatever they want to call it. And the funny thing is, when I was talking about an exit tax in Germany, people called me crazy. Now I'm talking about a citizenship-based taxation. People still call me crazy. They say this will never be implemented. But France is the first European country that just proposed a typical citizenship-based taxation for all French citizens, regardless of where they live. And I mean, the US, America already has it in place, so it is technically possible. And I know I'm talking a lot today, but this topic is just taxes in general are so complex and important, and it literally makes or breaks your wealth protection. But in this video, we wanted to talk about the tax reform in regards to crypto. And here we have an article by KPMG, again, stating that an 8% tax rate is established for gains from the disposal of crypto assets. That means it is related to all crypto transactions, all cryptocurrencies. It is definitely on a corporate level and most likely on a personal level. Hasn't been specifically stated yet, but otherwise it wouldn't make sense, because 8% and then 35% in personal income tax, the distinction would be too much and it would just mean that everyone opens up a company. Anyway, in my eyes, it is great for crypto startups, businesses and investors and traders, because it brings clarity, because it lowers the worst case taxation rate on your crypto business, disposals, whatever it is. And just in general, it shows that the Cyprus government kind of turns pro-crypto. That is definitely interesting. And that is what I stated here, especially with the Nicosia University and Andreas Antonopoulos, one of the first Bitcoin advocates that was lecturing about Bitcoin many, many years ago. I mean, just right after Bitcoin was introduced, he's regularly here in Cyprus lecturing about the blockchain technology. And we also have Limassol, which is already a hotspot for Forex and FinTech. I mean, it just makes sense. We already have the people here. We already have the infrastructure and the network here from all the big brokers. And now the next step would be for the banking sector to follow, because as of today, local banks do not really support cryptocurrencies. That would be the next logical step. Now, my practical tip when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and if you're now uncertain what you should do, whether or not you should incorporate a company or not, if your cryptos are capital gains or business activity, all that are things that I definitely understand and that I also encounter myself, by the way. I have Bitcoins, I have Ethereum, I have some altcoins, and I myself am worried as well. And what I am doing is I'm separating my holdings clearly from my trading portfolio. For that, I do have two clusters. One is clearly long-term. This is my cold physical storage, my Ledger Nano over there, where I'm 100% sure that I will pay 0% when I decide to sell that in the future. But then I also have a buy and sell trading cluster, which is at potential tax risk, whatever it is. If it is 8% crypto tax, the corporate tax in Cyprus, the corporate tax in the UAE, or 0% in the UAE, because I also have an Emirates ID, so I could technically be, if I would really want to, a tax resident of the UAE. And if it is going to be 100% clear that tax residents in the UAE are exempt from any crypto taxation, then I will definitely consider becoming a tax resident in the UAE if I want to sell my long-term portfolio of my crypto assets that I have. But as of today, I'm just clustering it. I have my clearly long-term holdings in my bank account A, or in my wallet A, whatever it is that you're using, and my trading portfolio on Revolut X, for example, or an exchange. It's up to you. In any case, it actually doesn't matter. My worst case scenario is 8% for those trading activities. And the clearer I separate it, the better, the easier it is for me to provide financial documents, to make an audit. And also the clearer I can answer questions for manual investigations, which are definitely also a point, especially for high-risk individuals, which probably are crypto investors and traders. I mean, you have to be a little bit crazy to invest all of your money into such a volatile asset, but as of today, almost any asset is volatile. Doesn't matter. It depends on you, your setup, your business, and your risk appetite. Active trading is liable to trading tax. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. Those are the rates in Cyprus. And we have a very famous crypto influencer as a client here in Cyprus, actually. And for him, this means hundreds of thousands, if not millions, actually, in tax savings with the lower crypto tax. But I cannot give you a clear answer without an individual consultation. So definitely make sure to reach out to us on tax.one. And a rule of thumb is the less often you trade, the better. The less likely the tax authorities will claim your crypto tradings, business activities as actual business activities. But at the end of the day, we don't know how the tax authorities will tax you, if they have a good day or not, if the compliance officer likes you or not. There is always a little bit of risk, and that means just try to set yourself up as bulletproof as possible. And this is exactly what we do at tax.one. So if you subscribe to the channel, I will be more than happy to see you and help you in the next video.